Hey, good morning. Coming to you from our luxurious lake house quarantine. It probably sounds a whole lot better than it actually is. I don't want to complain. It's a decent house. It's a nice house. The family that owns it has opened it to us free of charge, and they're letting us stay. Have basically said nothing's off limits. Make ourselves at home. It's really been a blessing, but since we got here, it's not really lived up to what you expect. I mean, when you hear lake house, or at least when I heard lake house, when I got the message that we were going to be quarantining in a lake house, I thought, wow, that's good. I'm looking forward to that. I had images of sitting on a balcony, watching the sunrise, drinking coffee, reading, studying, doing all the things that you might do at the lake. I'll just say it's not been exactly like that. Since we've got here, since we arrived, it's rained every day. The sun came out one day, we woke up, we got up, and the sun was out, and it looked amazing, like this is going to be a great day. And we stepped outside, and there was frost on the window of my truck, and so realized it was too cold to be outside and to enjoy that. So anyway, then the next morning we wake up and it started raining again. And this got me thinking that, just how often we put we have plans, or we have hopes, and we have expectations about things in this world. And what we really are confronted with all the time is that this world is always in some way going to let us down. It's never really going to live up to its promise. It's never going to fully satisfy us the way we expect it to. And that got me thinking about Ecclesiastes. I got to preach through that a couple of years ago. If you remember it the way, we went through that book of the Bible, and the writer of Ecclesiastes opens this way. Let me just read it to you. He writes, "Vanity of vanities, says the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity." He goes on over the next couple of chapters and writes about this pursuit of wisdom, wealth, and pleasure and work, and in all of the things that he's pursuing, they all leave him wanting. They don't satisfy him the way that he thinks they're going to. He is over and over disappointed in the things that occur. And so why would we continue to pursue them? That's the question. Like, why do we keep chasing after these things as if they're going to, if that's going to change? Except that we know that there is a promise of satisfaction, except that we know that there is something out there that must satisfy. What is it that would satisfy these deep longings of our hearts? And that's why we're always pursuing. We have this emptiness. We have this void. We have this desire that just can't be quenched. And we keep chasing. And we think, oh, this wisdom, this knowledge, this information didn't do it for me. Well, maybe this job, this work that I can do, this task that I can perform, maybe that will do it. And maybe for a couple of days, or maybe for a week, maybe for a few months, you have the title, the occupation, the job that you've dreamed of. But eventually it's going to wear off. The newness of it's going to wear off, and the work is going to become toil, and it's going to be difficult, and bosses are not going to be what you want them to be. Co-workers are not going to be all that you would hoped they would be. You're going to be working in a broken and sinful world, and this toy, this new vehicle, this new house, this new relationship, this new thing that can bring me pleasure. Maybe that's the thing that I need. Maybe that's the thing that will satisfy me. Over and over and over, we find that there's nothing in this life, nothing in this world, nothing from this world that can ultimately do that. But the Bible does promise us satisfaction in a very particular and from a very particular source. In fact, Jesus says in John 6:35, Jesus said to them, this is what it says, Jesus said to them, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst." He is speaking of complete, absolute, total satisfaction. You will never hunger again. You will never thirst again, now we know he's speaking figuratively. He's not saying that if you trust him that you'll never have a hunger pain, that you have to eat another meal. He's not saying that you'll never have another dry throat that you need to drink some water for and satisfy that thirst. He's speaking in figurative terms, and he's telling us that it's in him that we find this satisfaction. It's in him that we can find the contentment and the peace and the joy and the void that we have in our hearts. We can find that filled. We can find it fulfilled. Wisdom, wealth, and pleasure, they're good things in and of themselves. But they were never meant, the Lord never meant them to be satisfying things. He never meant them to be enjoyed apart from him. He never meant them to take his place. He never meant wisdom, wealth, pleasure, and work to be the thing, to be the source of our satisfaction. So they are things that he gives us. They are gifts that he allows us to enjoy as we enter into and walk in and enjoy fellowship and relationship with him. In fact, these things, the wisdom, wealth, pleasure, and work, they will never live up to the promises that they fulfill. This world will never live up to the promises it makes. It will always leave us wanting. It will never satisfy. But Jesus does. Jesus will. Jesus can and will fulfill his promise to be our satisfaction. So let me encourage you. Run to him. Run to him. Walk with him daily. In times in prayer and reading of Scripture. Spend time with him, in relationship with him, and abide in him every day. Just dwell in him. Find your source of identity, your source of satisfaction, your source of joy, peace, and love from him. Feast on him. And I think you'll find that he will fulfill his promise. God bless you guys. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy quarantining or or isolating or whatever it is you're doing. Do it with Jesus.